We usually observe development through physical changes, a younger sibling getting taller or a grandparent's hair turning gray. Because these shifts are so visible, it is easy to assume that our growth is a simple, linear path that stops once we reach the age of 18. Psychologists challenge this through the lifespan perspective. This approach views human development as a lifelong process, beginning at conception and continuing until death. It is multidirectional, which means that at any given age, we are experiencing a specific combination of cognitive gains and physical losses. The process begins with our genotype. This is the genetic heritage we inherit from our parents, a complex biological blueprint consisting of tens of thousands of genes that dictate our physical structure and our evolutionary potential. This diagram shows the relationship between that blueprint and our actual lives. While the genotype is fixed, it is expressed through our phenotype, the observable traits like height, weight, and personality. The environment acts as a filter. For example, a child with the genetic potential for average height may never reach it if they lack proper nutrition during their formative years. To understand why people behave differently, we have to look at how these biological blueprints interact with the social and physical world, starting with the very first days of infancy. Development starts with a set of built-in survival mechanisms. Newborns arrive with reflexes, automatic responses like coughing, blinking, and sucking. These genetically carried behaviors allow an infant to adapt to the world before they have had any opportunity to learn. But survival requires more than just physical reflexes. In 1962, researchers Harry and Margaret Harlow conducted a study on rhesus monkeys to see how maternal separation affected development. As this photo shows, the infant monkeys were given a choice between a wire mother providing milk and a soft cloth mother providing none. The infants spent almost all their time clinging to the cloth. The study proved that while biological nourishment is necessary for growth, contact comfort is the specific environmental requirement for emotional attachment. At the same time, the child's internal world is undergoing a cognitive shift. Psychologist Jean Piaget identified that a child's ability to think is bound to their biological maturation. Between birth and age 11, a child moves from simple sensory exploration to complex logical thought. They develop object permanence, the understanding that things exist even when they can't be seen, and eventually learn to classify objects and perform mathematical operations. These behaviors require the underlying physical structure of the brain to be sufficiently developed. Once the biology is ready, the environment provides the experiences necessary for the child to refine their emotional bonds and cognitive logic. This steady progression changes at the onset of puberty. This is a period of rapid biological change where sexual maturity is attained, but the timing of this event is highly sensitive to the individual's social and physical context. This chart tracks the average age of menarche in industrialized nations over the last century. You can see a steady decline. This shift is a direct result of environmental changes, specifically better nutrition and medical care, which accelerate the biological timeline of human development. This biological surge expands the adolescent's cognitive abilities. They enter the formal operational stage, where thinking moves beyond concrete physical events. They become capable of abstract reasoning, allowing them to imagine hypothetical futures and ideal standards for themselves and others. This new level of awareness creates socio-emotional pressure. Adolescents often struggle with egocentrism, the feeling that they are always on stage, while simultaneously trying to forge a unique identity and navigate the influence of their peers. In this stage, a sudden increase in biological maturity forces the individual to adopt new cognitive tools and accept a higher level of social responsibility. In adulthood, the drivers of development shift away from universal biological milestones. Instead, the timing of life events, like starting a career or raising children, is determined by an individual's social context and culture. Middle age brings a gradual deterioration of physical functions, such as declining vision and hearing. In the cognitive domain, there is a measurable decline in raw processing speed and the efficiency of short-term memory. This chart illustrates the multi-directional nature of adult development. While the descending line shows that memory and speed decrease with age, The intersecting upward line represents gains in wisdom and experiential knowledge. An adult might struggle to remember a new phone number, but they are often more efficient at making high-stakes decisions. This phase of life demonstrates that development is a balance, where cognitive gains frequently compensate for biological losses. Old age was historically defined as a period of inevitable physical decline and withdrawal from society. However, as people live longer, this definition is moving upward. Modern psychology emphasizes successful aging, which depends less on genetic luck and more on the social and environmental structures built throughout adulthood. Factors like maintaining deep family ties, continuing vocational interests, and remaining open to new experiences have been shown to mitigate physical decline and provide a sense of security and belonging. From the first reflexes of a newborn to the wisdom of later years, our development remains a constant negotiation between the genes we inherit and the environments we inhabit. Because we continue to change in the way we think and relate to others until the very end, a human being is never a finished product. We are an active work in progress